welcome you to the 71st Annual General Meeting of NCR Nigeria. I confirm that the register of members and directors in attendance at board meetings are available for inspection as statutorily required. I would like to humbly introduce some members of the board and other people present. Mrs. Christina Eason, Mr. Matthew Adefila, Chief Bisade Bebaku, Mr. Mike Valia, Ms. Louise Gogu, members of the Staff Audit Committee, Mrs. Marina Anadi, Alhaji Mustafa Jinodu, FIOD, and Mr. Kashimawo Taiwo. Ms. Benis Anya, Mrs. Oluwafumi Lola Babalola, Mr. Uche Okibo, Mr. Onyekachi Chukwu, Ms. Brenda Duke, Barrister Adekunle Oke, Ms. Rosemary Census. I now ask the Company Secretary to read the notice convening the meeting. I assumed, but anyway, I am Otumba Adekunle Ojora. Thank you very much. Thank you. Will the Company Secretary read the notice convening the meeting?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chairman, Directors, distinguished shareholders, Statutory Audit Committee members. I would now read the notice. Notice is hereby notice of the 71st Annual General Meeting of NCR Nigeria PLC. Notice is hereby given that the 71st Annual General Meeting of NCR Nigeria PLC, the company, will be held virtually via the Zoom Cloud meeting platform at NCR House, number 6, Broad Street, Lagos Island, on Wednesday, 24th of May 2023 at 11 a.m. to transact the following businesses. Ordinary business. Number 1, to lay before the meeting the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st of December 2022, together with the reports of the directors, the auditors, and the audit committee thereon. Number 2, to elect and re-elect directors. Number 3, to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. Number 4, to elect shareholder members of the audit committee. Number 5, to disclose the remuneration of managers of the company in line with Section 257 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. Special business by ordinary resolution. To consider and, if thought fit, pass the following resolution as ordinary resolution of the company: that the remuneration of the non-executive directors of NCR Nigeria PLC for the year ended 31st of December 2023 and until further notice be and is hereby fixed at 4.5 million naira only as directors' fees. In addition, sitting allowances will be paid at standard agreed rates for each meeting attended by the directors. Please note that this represents no change in the components of the remuneration of the non-executive directors for the previous year. The second special business, to consider and if thought fit pass the following resolution as an ordinary resolution of the company, that pursuant to Rule 20.8 of the Rule Book of the Nigerian Exchange Limited 2015, a general mandate be and is hereby given, authorizing the company during the 2023 financial year and up to the date of the next annual general meeting to procure goods, services, and financing and enter into such incidental transactions necessary for the day-to-day operations from its related parties or interested persons on normal commercial terms, consistent with the company's transfer pricing policy. All transactions falling under this category, which were earlier entered into in 2023 prior to the date of the meeting, are hereby ratified. Voting by interested persons. In line with the provisions of Rule 20.8H, subsection H, rules governing related party transactions of Nigerian Exchange Limited, interested persons have undertaken to ensure that their proxies, representatives, or associates shall abstain from voting on Resolution 7 above. Notes. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. The first item on our agenda for today is to lay before the meeting the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st December 2022, together with the reports of the directors, the auditors, and the audit committee hearing. I now call on the representative of the auditors, Clem Thornton, to present the report.
My name is Victor Osifo. I'm a senior partner in Grant Thornton. Mr. Uchena is unavoidably absent. The audit opinion is on page 36 to 38. 36 to 38. Report of the independent auditors to the members of NCRO Nigeria PLC. Opinion. We have audited the financial statements of NCRO Nigeria PLC, the company, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2022, the statement of profit. Audited the financial statement of NCRO Nigeria PLC, the company, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2022, statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in equity, and statement of cash flow for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements present fairly in all material respects. Financial statement, financial position of the company as at 31st December 2022, and of its financial performance and its cash flow for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards, the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act No. 6 of 2011, and the provision of the Company and Allied Matters Act 2020. I move to the last page. That is page 38, the last paragraph. report on other legal and regulatory requirements. The Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 requires that in carrying out our audit, we consider and report to you on the following matters. We confirm that when we have obtained all the information and explanations which to the best of our knowledge and belief were necessary for the purpose of our audit. 2, in our opinion, proper books of account has been kept by the company. And 3, the company's statement of financial position and statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of account. Signed, Uchenna Okibo for Granton. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chairman of the Statutory Audit Committee, Mrs. Marina Amadi.
In accordance with the provision of Section 4047 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, 35, sorry. In accordance with the provision of Section 4047 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020, we, the members of the Audit Committee of NCR Nigeria PLC, confirm that we have, out of statutory functions under the Act, and have examined the auditor's report for the year ended 31st December 2022, and hereby state as follows. The scope and planning of the audit are adequate. 2, the accounting and reporting policies of the company conform with the statutory requirements and agreed ethical practices. 3, the internal control was being constantly and effectively monitored. 4, we have reviewed the auditor's findings on management matters and are satisfied with the management responses thereon. Martina Amadi, FCA, Chairman, Audit Committee. Thank you. Mustafa Jinodu, FIOD, member. Matthew Adefila, FCA, member. Michael Valia, member. Kashimawo Taiwo, member. Thank you.
The audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2022 before you. May I invite questions and comments on the financial statements?
Chairman, members of the board of NCR Nigeria PLC, distinguished fellow shareholders, regulatory authority representatives present here, I say good morning to you. My name is Chief Timothy Adeshino, the immediate past president of Nigerian Shareholders Solidarity Association, established by late Akintoye Asani in 1985. Thank you, sir. The account we are considering today is not much. It is the account of a company that has a small stature but big engine. And I will first of all ask us to go to page 16 of this annual report. On page 16 of this annual report, you will see that the revenue was 2,540,792 in the year 2021, and it grew by 28.68% in 2022 to 3,269,459 naira. All other indices are negative. Profit slash loss before taxation for 2022 was 801,000 naira, 801.9 million, as against a profit of 317,480 in the year 2021. If you study the history of this company, because I've been following the company closely, at least for the past 15 years, you will see the result is always undulating. If they declare a loss this year, next year they will declare a profit. The next year they will declare the next one, on and on like that. It's undulating, like the wave of the sea. And I don't know how to do it, but by accident or by creation, this is how the account has been going. Taxation was 32.69% in the previous year. That is, in 2021, we paid a loss, we paid a tax of 309.9 million, and in turns out that the issued and fully paid share capital of the company is 54 million. Mark on this report is my observation on page 18. On page 18, item number 6, that is directors and other shareholding. I can see our papa having 1.14% of the total shares, and all my other directors, none of them is owning a share, not even a single shares. This is most embarrassing, especially in this kind of a company. We who are inside want to go out, you can't go. You that are coming in. But I want them to please pity the shareholders, especially the old ones that have invested their money for the days of old age. Even all companies are like this. How will people grow? How will people grow? Even our papa, Ojera, is not growing on this company. He's growing on his previous efforts, in his previous investments. So I'm advising that our Chief Bisade Biobako, will please help us look for when we are blessed and see how painful it is to have shares like this and have no dividend for so many years. So we thank you all as directors for the efforts we have been putting on to keep the company afloat. The financial highlights I already narrated. It's more than that, but we just want the company to please do something for shareholders. The overseas investors, at least they will always have something from the materials they bring in to the country for sale. And CP is 22 and 23. On page 22, paragraph 2, you see the company say we try to minimize the environmental footprints of our operations and products, while also delivering innovation, innovative technologies and solutions designed to help businesses and consumers reduce their own environmental footprint. We are proud of this company and its products. All the products, all the technical equipment which the company is selling are first class. No, even when these other Chinese companies bring in products to come and compete NCR products, when they don't have the way, they fall by the wayside. But with this quality of the products, still don't have anything as a compensation to shareholders. So we are begging Papa to please speak the language these foreigners understand to them. And as I said earlier on about the unrelated pattern of the company's results, you will see on page 39 that loss per share this year is 9.36 kobo per share, as against 0.07 naira in the previous year. All we can do now is to continue to pray that the Lord will continue operations and that God will touch the mind of our directors to know that everything on this earth will remain on this earth. None of it which are carried to heaven. So people will have to show mercies too. Let us show them mercies. Thank you. God bless us. On page 18, item number 6, that is directors and other shareholding. I can see our Papa having 1.14% of the total shares, and all my other directors, none of them is owning a share, not even a single shares. This is most embarrassing, especially in this kind of a company. We who are inside want to go out, you can't go. You that are coming in, good morning.
I beg to stand, sir. Thank you very much. The name is Evangelist Dr. Anthony Omoni Omojola, a shareholder. Well, I appreciate God first for the opportunity of being alive, for me and the rest of us. So thank God for his mercy. I also appreciate the directors, management, and staff for all the efforts they have put in for the sustenance of the company, especially in the past 12 months. I've read through the accounts inside out. If I'm to speak on this report and account, I speak a whole day, so I like speaking. Somehow, this is an AGM, I will summarize what I have to say. We hope the updated system and the new technologies being put in place will yield better results going forward, sir. And according to the chairman's statement on page 10, we look forward to the years ahead with great enthusiasm and optimism that there's going to be a great turnaround for this company. Yes, on page 30, there is a board evaluation. On that board evaluation, the difference I want the evaluators to do is to help us highlight those areas of concern. They need to be disclosed going forward so that we know which area the board needs to improve upon. On page 63, there's this foreign exchange loss. Actually, when the company is the expected profits, we are hoping to wipe away all the negative retained earnings over the year. Unfortunately, the foreign exchange loss came and wiped off everything. Of course, that's what took the company to loss position. I want us to continue to manage the situation because the Nigerian environment, there's never a time we're going to have enough foreign exchange going forward. There's never a time. So every institution has to devise ways and means of how to manage it effectively. Otherwise, we just this we won't be able to positively. On 68, our this continuous debt position. We have been rolling over that debt for many years. And I want to plead with our foreign partners, the parent body, to please wind down this debt for us. I've done that in a couple of companies this past 3 years, especially this COVID era, and some of them do listen attentively. Without this debt forgiveness, the company might never be able to pay this money. So I'm pleading to our representatives, those who are hearing virtually, or for those of you who are here, to please pass on the message. We want debt forgiveness of that 2.68 billion. If you can wipe out that from this book, then there's hope that the company will do well with all the infrastructure being put in place. And going forward, we're going to laugh. I have a question for the accountants and the auditors. On page 64, there is under provision of the previous year, 192.6 million. My first question is, where did you discover this under provision? Because the profit for the previous year is just 317.4 million. And that same year, we paid how much? We paid 300, sorry, page 16. The previous year, we paid 309. million. If we pay 309.9 million that year, and we have been told there's over the addition of 192.6. If we add those things together, equals 502, which is far and beyond the profit for the year. So how do we come? How do we come about that figure? I want a better explanation for the ordinary man to understand. That's a question for the auditor. Like I said, I put forward one of my special requests. The second one is this. The chairman, Papa, have been doing quite a good job over the years. And I'm sure the board and management have assisted him very well. But my special request is that at this stage, let the board appoint a vice chairman for him, so that we don't overstress the chairman. We are praying for long life, longevity, and good health, but if we overstress him, we are not helping him. But if we give him a vice chairman, sometimes the chairman cannot come about the vice, we act and the business will continue. So I want the board to please consider this going forward. Having said this, I continue to pray. And our God hears prayer to heal the land, to help the company to grow, and to be able to turn the fortune of the company around, so that shareholders who have in the past 12 years not received anything as return on investment will have the hope of getting something in the years. Thank you very much. God bless you.
My esteemed distinguished shareholders, regulatory bodies, gentlemen of the press, my name is Fakike Mudusu. I'm representing Pragmatic Shareholders Association. So I don't have much to say. A lot have been said on the accounts, but I just have a few things to talk about. Sorry. Page 42. I want to talk on the statement of financial position, the current ratio. The current ratio decreases from 1.49 in 2021 to 1.18 in 2020. This falls below the satisfactory ratio of 2 to 1. Likewise, liquidity ratio. The liquidity ratio also decreased from 1.37 to 1.08 this year. This implies that we will not be able to discharge our responsibility effectively and efficiently. So my observation, let us reduce expenses significantly. Let us increase sales, if need be, charge more for our products and services, and let us provide amazing customer service and implement effective marketing. Let us invest more in staff inventory management. So I have questions now. We are into financial service and IT. This sector is progressing and rapidly expanding. I need to find out how our parent company performed. Are they supporting us strongly? Is their pricing competitive? Are they strongly into research and development? Are they moving into new markets like China and Asian tiger are now eating up into their markets? We need to diversify. We need diversification into other areas to stem this decline. How strong is the management? And is there need for, if there is need for a change, let us take a bold step. Thank you. Then at the same time, sorry, I want to know where we now operate from. I want to know where we operate from. When we sold the building last year, we want to find out where we now operate from. Thank you.
Thank you so much, distinguished shareholders. and directors here present. So I will, for the last question regarding the business structure, our managing director will be taking that. So I will just address the aspects of finances. And I will start from the last question by Evangelist. On 2 questions mentioned concerning the long-term loan forgiveness and also the 192 million that is reported as prior under provisions for taxes. For the long-term loan forgiveness, if you recall in the previous accounts, we had significant forgiveness given to us. But even with that forgiveness, there are so many considerations, because that gives us also to huge tax exposure, which impacts on our cash flow as well. And those are the constraints on taking decision on that long-term loan. And we also pushing and trying to put some measures in place to ensure that even if we are getting that forgiveness, there could be also some provisions for the tax implication of that, because it's going to be taxable. So that is some of the constraint that is making the company not to just put forward and say, pardon everything. That's why we still see it in our book. But it's gradually, final decision will be taken on that. We know it's actually impacting on the book. Then coming on the 192 million, that's actually a bank duty assessment. We are assessed to tax by tax authority for years 2015 to 2019. So the bank duty assessment is what cumulated to that value, which was a sort of, we don't have provision for that because there's a period that have passed, and that is why the auditors put it as per year under provision, but it's a bank duty tax assessment. Then, just to also mention, because I have some questions that came from online that some shareholders association has sent in to the company, which I will also be addressing here in the meeting. The question also centered on the issue of revenue versus cost in the year 2022. In comparison to the prior year, as our revenue reported, we saw significant increase, about 28%, but the cost is not in match with that. And the reason is that after the COVID era, there was a downturn in business within those periods. We did not have much orders coming in within the period of COVID. So most revenue that we are taking in 2021, we are more or less a backlog of orders that have come in, and others also have some subscription items and services. But in the year 2022, we have more inflow of equipment. And when we have such inflows of equipment, it impacts heavily on our costs. And looking at that period also, we bring in ATM, and we also deliver to sites in Nigeria, all the states in Nigeria. And looking at the cost of diesel and the kind of vehicle that does delivery of ATM, the cost for some of those things are more than doubled. And that's impacted heavily on our cost structure. And that's the reason for some of the things we are seeing there. Looking at the aspect of forex exchange, which is a major item that impacted on our profitability for that period, is actually due to the acute forex shortage in the country. There is actually no existing window of CBN that sponsors or finance trade in the country at the moment. And what they do is they sort of rationing for major transactions, which can take over 2 years before you can be able to finance a trade. And for us to be able to have a letter of credit confirmed, the banks prefer different solutions, and some of them use their offline banks. And when they use offline banks, means that they will provide dollar to settle your supplier, immediately the transaction matured, and they are going to do it at additional cost because they are going to provide you their rates, because they are still going to be sourcing from CBN, and within that period we had great exposure on forex, because most of the banks, the rate is not comparable to what CBN rates speaks, and that impacted heavily on the company. And with the heavy equipment we are bringing into the country, that is actually what gave rise to the good value we are having for forex. I think that addressed some of the key questions, both from the online team and the one raised here. Thank you, sir.
Only stand on existing protocol. I'm just going to address some of the concerns from the shareholders. I heard Chief when he said our products are first class. I'm sure everybody can attest to that. Our products are first class. But we have, I would say, concerns with the banks we actually do business with. Right now, the banks, to be open, right now the banks are not looking for first class products because competition is so stiff. They are not. I mean, even for service deliveries, we sign SLAs with most of these banks, and they know that our spare parts are original. In fact, I still had a conversation with one of the banks just yesterday, and they're like, okay, where are the other parts coming from? Even though they know that those parts are substandard and they can change a part maybe 3-4 times in a month, you know, but they don't care. As long as they're paying cheaper, they would go for those parts, you know. But I also tried to mention to them, and they're also saying reason with it, saying our parts are original and you can actually use this part and not even change in 6 months to 1 year. So they're taking that to their board and seeing what that can come up with, you know. So we're praying something happens in that area. Madam talked about our parent company, if they're not in support of us. They are in support 110%. There's nothing we ask of them that they do not provide. Even when it comes to pricing, I know how many price wars I have had with them. And I'm saying, no, this price cannot go in Nigeria. It cannot even fly. Sometimes my colleagues and I, we sit around the table and we're wondering, how can we do this? How can we send in this proposal? So the way you have your thinking is the way we also have the headache. Because we also want to move this business forward, but we also have constraints. And I think what is actually keeping us is the relationship we have built over time with these banks. And that has really, really, really helped us. Some of the bank's executives don't even mind. They'll just say, Christiana, we have seen your proposal. We know you guys are top notch. Even though your prices are high, we will go with you. And that is relationship we have built over time. And that's why this relationship we don't take for granted whatsoever. We don't. And now we're moving from selling the boxes, you know, just selling just the ATMs, but we're moving into solutions, software solutions, which we know would bring, of course, better profits. So that is what we're channeling our efforts into now. Then I think I'll just address, Chairman, if you allow me, the issue concerning the building. Yes, I know we have talked about the building, and I wish I had some better news, but this building issue is still going through approval. You know, this is like an international company, it's a multinational. It will just go through approval. The way they said, go and look for another building, we did that almost immediately, and we got a building. But there's no way we can move forward, you know, into moving into that building without approvals from the international headquarters. But we're following up closely. Thank you. I hope I addressed most of the concerns.
I have some satisfactory explanations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Now we go to item 2 on the agenda, which is to elect and re-elect retiring directors. Pursuant of section 285 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. The directors to retire are rotation with Mr. Mike Balia and Mr. Motiwa Adefla. Means as eligible have offered themselves for re-election this week. We shall proceed to vote on the re-election one by one. Profile for Mr. Balia is on page 15. I hereby move the following motion that pursuant to section 2851 of Common to my Valia be and hereby re-elected as director of the company.
I, Matthew Akinade, I second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Those of you who vote, please indicate by raising your right hand. Register.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For this resolution, I confirm that we received proxies in favor of this resolution. The proxies we received in favor is a total of 66,737,909 units for 46 shareholders. I also confirm that the shareholders present all voted in favor. Therefore, the total units in favor of this resolution is 68,089,928. No shareholder voted against and none abstained. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Very much. I declare the motion unanimously carried. The profile of Mr. Adefla is on page 15 of the annual report. I hereby move the following motion that pursuant to section 2851 of cover, Mr. Matthew Adefla be and hereby re-elected as director to come. Another shareholder, please comment.
I forgive the summer area. I saw.
Those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand.
Thank you. Those against? Dear Chairman, I confirm that the total votes received in favor of this resolution is 68,089,928 units, and that represents 100% of the vote received. None voted against and none abstained. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And the directors be and I hereby reflect the remuneration of the auditor and trust. And I will shareholder in second.
I so second. I'm Chief Timothy Additional.
Thank you very much. Good. Those in favor, please indicate by using your right hand. May I have a motion in the name of the Father?
Dear Chairman, for this resolution, I confirm that we have a total unit of 68,089,928, all voting in favor of this resolution. No shareholder voted against and none abstained. So the units represent 100% of the vote received. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next item is the next members of the audit committee. We have received valid nominations from the following persons. Mrs. Martina Nana Madi. Haji Mustafa Shalabinoni. Taiwo Kashimawo. Again. Based on the nominations, six foreign persons have been elected as shareholders, representatives of the audit committee of the company for the year 23-24. Mrs. Martina Nana Amadi and Haji Mustafa Shola Binadu, IOD, and Mr. Taiwo Kashimawo Akonji. Of the Audit Committee of the company for the year was given as Tina Nana Amadi, Alhaji Mustafa Shola Binadu, Mr. Taiwo Kashimawo
Mr. Taiwo Kashimawo, FCA.
Akonji. Mr. Matthew Valia and Mr. Matthew Adifela. Wish the new elected members of the Statutory Audit Committee the best. All agree. The next item on the agenda is to discuss the remuneration of the managers of the company in accordance with the provision of section 257 of CAMA. Pursuant to the following, the remuneration of the managers of the company for 2022 financial year was 96.6 million. The next item on the agenda is an item of special business, which is to approve the remuneration of the directors. Note 254 of the annual report set out the details of the remuneration of the company directors. It is important to note that the reviewing the remuneration is not being proposed for the directors. I hereby move the following motion: that the remuneration of the non-executive directors of NCR for the year ending 31st December 2023 and to further notice be and is hereby fixed at 4.5 million naira only as director's fees. In addition, sitting fees will be paid at standard agreed rates for each meeting attended by the directors. shareholder, please second
Mr. Chairman, I second that motion. The name is Dr. Ewa Mojola.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I declare the motion carried. The last item on the agenda is an item of social business by way of ordinary resolution. I hereby move that pursuant to Rule 28 of the Rule Book of the Nigerian Exchange Limited 2015, a general mandate be and is hereby given authorizing the company during the 2023 financial year and up to the date of the next annual general meeting to procure goods, services, financing, and enter into such incidental transactions necessary for its day-to-day operations from its related parties or interested parties on normal commercial terms consistent with the company's transfer pricing policy. All transactions falling under the category that were earlier entered into the year 2023 prior to the date of the meeting are hereby ratified.
I so second. My name is Timothy Adishio.
There's no one
Anyone against?
No, nobody against.
Dear Chairman, I confirm that we received a total of 68,089,928 units for this resolution. No unit was voted against, no unit was abstained. Therefore, the total units of 68,089,928 are all in favor, which represents 100% of the vote received. Thank you, Chairman.
May I be permitted to express sincere appreciation to all those present here today. I have come to the end of the meeting. We realize the sacrifice which has attended the meetings and the non-payment of dividends. This is a matter of grave concern, and we are constantly looking into the matter to see that in the next near the next, we will be in a position to earmark something for members of the company. I would like to thank everyone for coming. I know it's a great sacrifice. And the Almighty God bless you.
Amen.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the meeting. We just have national
bàbá ò bàbá ò. Ọlọ́run bá wa dá bàbá sí. Bàbá ò bàbá ò bàbá ò. Ọlọ́run dá bàbá sí.
Please bow down your head for prayer. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Father, we thank you for an opportunity like this. We have deliberated wholesomely on the affairs of our company, NCR Nigeria PLC. We thank you for being with us. The meeting has come to a close, and we pray for successes across the company, and we for protection on each and every one of us, both those of us here and those who are watching virtually, so that by this time next year when we meet again, we shall have cause to glorify your holy name. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Thank you.